People saying we missed that old Pixar back in those glory days. Yeah. Pixar said, you know what? Maybe we do need to get our shit together and really concentrate on story. And now they have Inside Out, took it over there to Cannes, or Cannes, I don't know how you say it. Cannes.
Didn't you go over there?
Once.
Really?
Yeah, I did.
And never learned how to say it the whole time.
Never learned nothing.
You're there. What did you say while you were there? Didn't you hear other people saying it, or you just drunk the whole time?
That's what that laugh means.
Didn't you hear some of those French whores pronounce it?
But over there, the movie, it had a standing ovation, had people crying. But then again, that's Cannes, or whatever you want to call it. So you know what?
They like a lot of
they like
a
lot of shit. You can never trust them. So it centers on a young girl named Riley. She's 12 years old, and you know she has a nice life in Minnesota. She's got cool friends. She's on a great hockey team. But then she suddenly has to make this move to San Diego because her dad needs to go there for work.
That wasn't San Francisco?
I'm sorry, was it San Francisco?
Yeah.
Yes, you're right.
With the steep hills.
Yes, Martin. Yes, that was a
so
test.
She's complaining about moving from Minnesota to San Francisco.
It's one of the things that doesn't work, honestly.
Yeah. It really
like if it was
is.
Montana, okay, I understand that.
Like even in
but
the movie,
you live in Minnesota.
They try to make San Francisco look shittier than Minnesota. It's like, no,
no fucking way.
No way. Backwoods country fuck ass girl. I miss Minnesota. But our father has to go to San Francisco for work, and she's, I got to move away from my friends. I'm leaving the hockey team, and it just causes this sudden surge of conflicting emotions in our head, which we get to be privy to in the form of these personified emotions. With this film right here, I like it because already I can see the creativity there. And this is not a novel idea. This is not anything new.
Herman's Head.
From the 90s.
Yeah, that TV show. And didn't Eddie Murphy make that movie, Dave?
Yeah, he made Dave. Yeah. We've seen even things that were kind of close to that, like Osmosis Jones. But, I mean, this right here, in the hands of somebody who's really into storytelling, such as the director Pete Docter, you can get some very imaginative things going on. And it's probably not different from those things that we were talking about. For example, all the emotions here in her head, it's just like any other day at work. Everybody has their place, everybody has their job, and everybody has that really annoying, over energetic, over enthusiastic, over optimistic supervisor. Played here by Amy Poehler in the form of Joy.
Disgust. Make sure Riley stands out today, but also blends in. When I'm through, Riley will look so good, the other kids will look at their own outfits and barf.
Joy. Yes, Joy? You'll be in charge of the console, keeping Riley happy all day long. And may I add, I love your dress. It's adorable. Oh, this whole thing? Thank you so much.
God damn, girl. You ain't got to be that joyful.
It's her job. She's good at it.
I know. It's like somebody did a couple lines before work this morning.
But you would think that, like, of all the emotions, Joy would be the one that you'd most want to spend time with. At this point, you're like, God damn, sit down somewhere and be quiet.
Sit your ass down. Now I know why girls are so crazy, because you got a fucking cokehead in your mind every day going nuts.
Train of thought, right on schedule.
Anger, unload the daydreams.
Bitch, you do it. Leave me fuck alone. It's anger, don't you think he was saying? Right. Who the fuck I look like to you, you slave?
I know that she has a little bit of authority with anger. Like, they've been through some shit. Like, like he wasn't playing that shit. Like, yo, bitch, why are you so joyful all the time?
Got to,
sit your ass down.
If you don't be forceful with anger, you know you're gonna tell you, do it your fucking self.
Yeah, go fuck yourself.
Yeah, go fuck yourself.
Oh, sadness. I have a super important job just for you.
Really?
Mm-hmm. Follow me.
What are you doing?
And there. Perfect. This is the circle of sadness. Your job is to make sure that all the sadness stays inside of it.
Oh, they do sadness so wrong. Like, no wonder sadness is sad, because y'all treat her like shit.
Yeah, man, but sadness is like schlup rock. Where it's like, anytime she does something, it's like, would you just stop touching things? You fucking everything up.
Yeah.
And Sadness like, I'm sorry, I did it again. Well, stop fucking doing it.
Yeah. And it's played by Phyllis Smith. I love the way Phyllis Smith plays his role, too, because, you know, that girl that you know is so sad that you could just feel the pain wearing her down.
Yeah, she's Debbie Downer. No matter what you say to her, she's going to find a way like, man, it's hamburger day. I know. It's just full of trans fats, though.
God damn.
Okay.
And
Like her and Eeyore would just hit it off famously.
Like her and Eeyore would make
They have a suicide pact.
Yeah, they have a suicide pact. I was about to say that. You find both of them hanging from a tree one day. Oh, and Winnie the Pooh out there looking, oh, bother. But Sadness, they get they get that down too well, because I was watching Sadness in the movie, and Sadness put me in a depression. I mean, as the movie goes along, Sadness just, we're not even halfway through the film, and Sadness just gives the fuck up.
So you know the way back to headquarters.
I guess.
You are my map. Let's go. Lead on, mind map. Show me where we're going.
Okay, only I'm too sad to walk. Just give me a few hours. Oh,
Come on.
Which way?
I would say that part of the movie, they get Sadness down so well that I was taken out of the film. Because do you know those commercials for depression medicine?
Right.
Oh yeah, and they always have the little character.
Well, they have
the mascot.
It's a little mascot. As always, they got like a ball or something that's sad. You just feel sorry for it.
You do, yeah.
And like a little bit of the movie was actually like it was like watching one of those depression pill commercials.
Depression hurts in so many ways. Sadness, loss of interest, anxiety. Cymbalta can help.
You know, they're in the commercial where they try to show you how well the medicine works. Everybody like, yeah, I'm so fucking happy.
And then do a freeze frame with a long list of side effects.
Yeah, like right there, you'd be like, diarrhea, vomiting, you know.
Might cause death.
Might cause death.
Suicidal thoughts.
Might cause suicidal thoughts. You come back around where you
There
were.
you go.
But it's in the movie, it's, I would say that one of the brilliant things about it is that it's imagination and inspiration comes from, there's no villain in the story. There's no real, there's no character that, is a stereotypical villain. There's no sneering guy who's trying to come in and take over Riley's head. And it's cool because they have to, so that means that the movie has to center on two different worlds, and they have so many characters to begin with anyway. Like there's no room for a real villain. Like you have the characters in the movie inside of Riley's head, the emotions, and then you have to deal with the world outside of the head with Riley and her family.
You're the best. Thanks, hon. See you, sweetie. Dad just left us.
oh, he doesn't love us anymore. That's sad. I should drive, right? Joy, what are you doing?
Just give me 1 second. You know what I've realized? Riley hasn't had lunch. Remember?
Hey, I saw a pizza place down the street.
That's one of the things that bothered me in the movie is that Riley is, okay, I've been hearing people talking about this movie made me cry. This movie's so emotional. I was so moved by this. And I'm like, I didn't cry because, Dad, you just saw that Dad has to leave. Dad is working for the family. Dad is trying to get, Dad's trying to feed his family. And she's like, oh, I had to move. And I'm like, okay, I feel bad for her. Don't get me wrong. I feel bad for Riley. Riley's going through a really hard situation, but she's moody. She's a teenager. She's about to be a teenager. She's supposed to be moody.
She's still a kid.
You are stealing my lines, and
I was about to say that's a very Martin thing to say.
But do you agree with me or not?
I was on the verge of agreeing with you.
Until what?
Until the more they went in depth with it, explaining like that right there was a moment of sadness. Just like Dad left, and her immediate was like, I'm feeling bad, and he just left. But not the whole like, I'm so depressed that he's not here. It started where I was where you are. I was like, man, you're not going to sit here and tell me that she can't get over the fact, she can't grasp the concept that her father is under pressure and trying to make a life for them.
Yeah.
But the longer it went on, the more they explained that that's not exactly what it was.
Well, I know that.
How old is she?
She's 11 or 12, I think. And you know something? The emotions are the ones where they got knocked out of whack. They're trying to chase certain memories, so they're being pulled into the memory banks that they've never been to. They're being pulled inside of the brains that they've never been into. And so I get that that's why everything is I get that's why everything is out of control in her head and why she's having all these mood swings. But it was still the way she was just getting sassy with the mom and dad at the table. You know me, man. I don't like that. And
It's because you're black.
and it's because I'm black. Yeah. Apparently, all these parents have their emotions in their heads where they just, all the white parents would just, for some reason, they're very calm.
They'll tolerate that
They'll
shit.
tolerate that shit. In their heads, they work things out. It's like the Starship Enterprise in there. You know, they all work everything out and they're very rational.
Won't it be great to be back out on the ice?
Oh, yeah. That sounds fantastic.
What was that? That wasn't anything like Joy.
Because I'm not Joy?
Yeah, no kidding.
Did you guys pick up on that?
Sure did.
Something's wrong. Should we ask her?
See?
Now, see, in my mama's head, all those voices would have been like, no, the fuck he didn't sex me like that.
What about that?
Yeah. The way they're working that shit out right there, they're all like, you know, so what are the stats on this? What's the problem? No. In my mama's head, it would have been like, fire all torpedoes.
Yeah.
And in my head, it would have been like the Star Trek Enterprise. Oh, fuck, what happened? Shit. Oh, shit, Captain, we've been hit.
They would have voted on that shit in my mother's head.
Stabilize, check the engines. Shields up.
Yeah. Hey, Captain, she's not taking him off. She's about to blow.
Scotty, issue the apology.
Yeah. Commence to fucked up face. I'm sorry. You know,
Yeah.
that's one of the things. That's one of the things I didn't get. That's like, hey, it's sad, but to the point where I'm crying at the end of the movie. No, because I would have got my ass whooped at the end. You know, there's kids out there with foster homes and shit who have a worse time than Riley does. And you're not there. I miss my hockey team. Fuck you.
Wow.
No.
Wait. So as long as there's people who are sadder, you never get to be sad?
You can
That's
be
what I'm
sad,
saying.
but you know.
No, man. That's what you're saying. Like, man, there's people who homeless. Well, as long as there's people homeless, I can never be sad about anything.
Be sad, but
My cousin died a couple of days ago, but so what? There's other people whose whole family got wiped out. So
be
oh,
sad,
well.
but don't be an asshole about it. You know, don't sit up there and be sassing your parents and shit.
You realize this is a kid, right?
Right.
I don't give a fuck. Yeah, be grateful.
Thank God you don't have children.
You know, I'm just saying, whoop her ass. That might help out.
Yeah, no,
I agree with that,
I
though.
go with Tommy. Thank God you don't have children.
Yeah.
Oh, and don't get me wrong. I'm looking at this and I'm thinking, man, there's a lot of cool things going on here. There's a lot of imagination. Like I was saying, you know, most of the conflict that you see comes from what you just saw right there. You know, mom and dad trying to communicate with Riley and having having to figure out how to read each other. But they even go as far as to show you different characters in the movie, like, you know, dad. They show what's going on in his head, which is exactly what you would think would go on in a man's head.
Uh-oh, she's looking at us. What did she say?
Oh, sorry, sir. No one was listening.
Is it garbage night? We left the toilet seat up. What is it, woman? What?
You know, that's just how guys, like in my head right now, you know what they're doing? They're sitting back with a beer and they got their hands on their nuts. You know, it's like the movie really did capture it, and by the time the movie reaches the credits, you begin to see how this concept really applies to different kinds of characters. And even though it's something that we've kind of seen before, I would say this movie takes this concept a little bit further as far as the imagination and creativity level goes. I might have some small complaints about this film, but they're very small. I would tell you, man, once I was through with this and had a couple of days to think about it, because I really wanted to come out and not make any kind of jump conclusions here, but I said, hey, you know what? This really is one of the smartest movies that I not only have seen this summer, but and the summer's just here, so, you know, I know it's early to say that, but so far this year, this is really one of the smartest things that I've seen.
They're taking this concept, kind of a cliche concept, like we said, and kind of making it for kids. And it took about 15 minutes before I realized, no, this movie is on point. It is way beyond what you see from the trailers.
Yeah.
You know what, man? So many movies could learn from this that you don't put all your best shit in the trailer. You show just enough to get people interested. And everything I thought how simplistic it was going to be, there's so much more depth to this. The thing is, like, I was wondering, like, okay, is this girl, is she suffering from depression, or is there something else going on? Is she out of whack?
She's schizophrenic?
Like, yeah. By the end, I was like, yeah, I get it. It's not anything like that, but she's having this emotional crisis because this has been a big deal, a huge upheaval of the family, of everything she's known and loved, and like, I mean, God bless them. I guess there are people who prefer the country in Minnesota to San Francisco because the way they try to make it look bad, like, well, you know, we got this rundown house. I'm like, yeah, but in San Francisco, that's $1 million home.
Yeah.
Y'all get a broom and a mop and some paper towels and make that shit look good.
Yeah, Martin was looking like Anchorage. Shut the fuck up, kid. You know how good this real estate is right here?
I mean, you say you didn't cry. I don't know how. I mean, you just must be a cold-hearted dude, man. Because there's a moment of self-sacrifice in here, which I like. The whole audience was just like quiet because people were trying to hold it, and then later toward the end, when things start coming together, I could hear people in there. They were trying to keep it quiet, and I just hear that. Again,
I can't say anything, but there is a self-sacrifice in here. Again, that doesn't have anything to do with Riley. In fact, it made me more mad at Riley. Like, Riley, why'd you do that?
Come on,
it's
man.
your fucking head, man. You could have controlled this.
No, you got to grow up sometime.
No.
And as a matter of fact, it makes you reflect back on yourself and realize, how much you've let go. I mean, it might make you go back into the attic and break out your old G.I. Joes or something.
I mean, I'm telling you, between Pixar knows how to put a motherfucker on a guilt trip over nothing.
I know.
Between like what's going on in my head and the toys that I discarded between this and Toy Story, I'm just kind of like.
That's the thing, they've had like some really good movies, but The Incredibles was that last favorite movie of mine, and then Toy Story 3, and everything else has been never quite on that level. And this is the first time they've gotten back to that level, that Toy Story level.
Yeah, and they've even had some psychologists come in and say, yeah, that's a good analogy on how things work.
Yeah, but they're like, can we show this to our patients? Because we've never been able to explain it that well.
Yeah, they don't know what the fuck we're talking about. Maybe we show them some fucking cartoons. Maybe they won't be so crazy anymore. From concept to execution, right here, this is a very smart film, and it's all under the guise of a kid's film, which makes it even more admirable because it's something that kids
Sucker
can
punches
watch.
you.
Yeah, and kids can watch this and they don't have to know any of this deep stuff that's going on at all. It's fun enough to where they can see the characters here and how and all the character designs and all the colors they have going on. For the adults, it's not a movie where a parent can go in and just be entertained. But this is one of those rare movies where a parent will go in with a kid
and come out and learn something.
And come out and be like, God damn, that was deep.
Yeah. Like, Dad, you all right? Hold on, I'm still trying to process it.
Dad's confused and shit.
Is it like a movie that'll make you look at your kid like, huh?
Yeah. It'll make you pick up your son and like, boy, what's going on in there? You all right? Can y'all hear me?
Joy, you in there?
Yeah. You knock your kid on the head. Stop it, Daddy. I just want to be okay. Boy, you here? Y'all all right in there? But yeah, I give this a full price, man. I give this a high full price. I mean, for all my complaints that I have right there, they're very small. And it's rare you're going to see movies like this come out. I mean, these are movies that come out, once, twice, 3 times a generation,
It's true.
I'm sorry if it seems like I'm being, over complimentary, but I mean, am I wrong?
No, you're not wrong at all. Matter of fact, the thing is, it's so colorful. And my fear was that at that point when Joy and Sadness are on their trek, they would just kind of turn into Wreck-It Ralph, where they're in colorful Candyland, running around, but it doesn't really mean anything. And it's the opposite of that. Everything means something. As a matter of fact, the whole thing with Sadness, as much as you might go like, why does there got to be sadness in the world? This movie answers that question.
Yeah.
It tells you like, look, stop saying that. This is important too. And that's one of the biggest lessons you can learn. I give it a high full price. I'm with you, man. This is one of the best movies of the summer, of the year. One of the best things you'll see in a long time. And I mean, I thought the exact point where it ended was just a little weak. Just a little like is that point where it set me up to where I was like, ooh, what's that next scene gonna be? And it wasn't that, and just a tiny bit of a letdown. It's the only thing that keeps me from giving it a better than sex.
It for those who go home, it's gonna make you establish like, okay, what imaginary friends did I have when I was growing up? Shit, Bobo, come back, Bobo, I'm sorry.